Hey y'all, welcome to Elisha's Crafty Hoplop and to week 1 of our Christmas in July collab hosted by Crafty Michelle. Oh y'all, I have been waiting for this and I am so excited to be participating, I cannot tell you. So, this is my second year participating in a Crafty Michelle collab. And as I told y'all, I feel like it's a blessing to be part of her team. Because the only requirement Michelle ever has of any of us is that we bring you something innovative, something inspired. And as a creative person, that always ignites my imagination. Now, before we begin with my project, I strongly encourage you to check out everyone who is participating in this collab. I've listed all of their channels down below, and you also could probably find them very easily using the hashtag Christmas in July collab. You don't want to miss out on these projects. Do you know, y'all, last year when I did Michelle's Spectacular Halloween collab, I came across so many amazing makers and I subscribed to them right away, and I have been following them ever since. And now many of those people are part of my craft community, and more importantly, I learn from these people each and every day. So one of the great gifts of this collab is that you're not only going to get to see really exciting projects, but you're going to get to meet all sorts of wonderful crafters who can become new crafty friends. Well, y'all, if you're a subscriber to my channel, then you know that one of my crafty aspirations for this year was to learn how to build boxes, 3D projects, and how to do them very well. And at first I used some crutches, meaning I used dies or I used some digital files. But I realized very quickly that I wanted to be able to change sizes, I wanted to innovate, I wanted to combine, and to do that I was going to have to learn how to make standard boxes without any help at all, meaning no dies, no SVG files, no digital files. And that from there I'd be able to innovate. So when I learned that I was going to be part of this collab, I knew exactly what I wanted to make, and I'm super excited to share it with you. All right, y'all, here we go. I call this Home for the Holidays. This is not just a mere suitcase, y'all. I know you're thinking, oh, it just looks like another one of our suitcases. This is a combination of my recent newfound love of box making and my love of bookmaking. Oh yes, y'all. This is not just a mere suitcase. No, it is a suitcase box, and I'm a book, and I'm about to share with you how it works. First, let me tell you that for the most part, I did use the Stamperia 8x8 Christmas collection. And if you subscribe to my channel, you know I hauled this specifically for this collab. And the reason was I wanted to do a pastel Christmas project, but also because this particular paper is what I call a great Christmas filler pad. It works beautifully if you have Mintate in your paper collection, or if you have Stamperia, or if you have Prima. So I knew it would work with a lot of my other papers and that I would get maximum use out of it. Plus, I just really like the cut aparts in that collection. So the exterior or the base of the box of this is actually made from Mintate. I chose Mintate on purpose because it's a very durable, strong paper, and I had decided after making the prototype I was not going to thick this up. I was just going to use the one sheet, just because it made it a bit too bulky in design when I thicked it up. So for that reason I used Mintate as the base, because that's my strongest paper, y'all. All right, let's bring you up nice and close. This is a cut apart from the Stamperia. It is not only stickled, but it is highlighted up. You can only see it slightly on my camera. These are flowers from these are from Rosie Studio. They come a little bit gilded, but I always gild them up a bit more. This one over here is a little birdie, and it has a tiny bit of diamond dust on it. These beautiful poinsettias are poinsettias that are the same color actually as this. They're sort of this frosty Tiffany minty blue and white, and they are completely glittered up and glistened up. The straps I did use my crocodile, y'all, for those to insert pink eyelets. And that's because I wanted the option, y'all, of hanging dangles from the straps. And, in the end, when I hung the dangle, I found it was a bit too much, but I still really like the aesthetic of the eyelet, so I left it. All right, so that on the top, You can see I used the paper collection, but that I did back up with a 110-pound cardstock to give it extra weight and heft. In other words, I wanted it to be sturdier. The back, as you will see, is a shaker that is a cut apart. That is a beautiful Christmas deer cut apart from the Stamperia paper pad. And this is a shaker mix that is, it draws all the colors of the collection out. Okay, and the feet we're going to talk about. There are feet on the bottom that coordinate, but y'all, what I should have done was done the feet last. And this is a little tip. I make lots of little tote bags and purses, and I never have a problem with the feet. But this time I put the feet on, and I checked their balance before putting in all the goodies. Once I loaded the suitcase with the goodies, and you're going to see how those work with the book, it set the suitcase off balance. So when it's stock full of goodies, it does not stand properly, and that upset me. Had I thought that through, I would have added those last and made sure I could maintain its balance while it was full. So there's a little tip for y'all. All right, so you open the straps. They are attached by Velcro. The Velcro came from AliExpress, and I am going to tell you, I was not very pleased with the quality of the adhesive on the Velcro, and so I did have to reinforce it with fabric tack. And I did put in an extra backup Velcro up top, and that's just because I wanted the box to stay secure during shipping. Now let's see how a suitcase becomes a book. Look at this, y'all. It's amazing. All right, so let's look at this page by page. So you can see it's a little bit like a Filodex if you take a look at it. There you go. And I do have it so that the pages go in slight descending order. You don't have to be that fancy about it. You could keep them all the same height. That was just me being particular. The first page, let me bend the suitcase down, is clearly a page of the Stamperia. There is some glittery confetti tulle in the background to give the effect of snow. This tree I actually fussy cut out from the Stamperia pad, and I glistened it up with stickles and I highlighted it. This is a tiny tag from the Stamperia collection. I cut that out, and then I built a fan. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Using the Adriana Alvarez method. So it had a lot of 3D and it comes forward. And then there's this really pretty shabby seam binding on top that I hauled from my scrap cabin. Inside here are some, there's goodies everywhere, but I'm not going to share all of them with you. I'll share half, just because in case this is actually going out to somebody and they might be able to guess. And so I don't want them to see every goodie. All right, y'all. In here are cut aparts from the Stamperia collection with some sequins mix that coordinates, and that's in the first page. The second page is a beautiful winter scene. Again, I took this out from the Stamperia collection. I augmented it by shading it, by stickling it and highlighting it. So in better lighting than mine, it does glimmer. The third page is another shaker. And this one I did cut apart a piece from the collection and then tucked it in and glued it on and then built the shaker. And then the last page is a Christmas cut apart. It just says Christmas and it's glittered up and it's a candle. The back of the suitcase book I built like a real suitcase. You know how those old-fashioned suitcases have the elastics at the back? And I think men used to tuck in their shirts in there. Well, I used it to tuck in some goodies, and I thought that was cute. In here are some beautiful coordinating little tags, gift tags from the Stamperia, and with the seam binding on top. And that just tucks in there. Let me put that back in, and you can see that just tucks into the belly bands. And that, y'all, I used it to tuck in gifts and embellishments, but it is a legitimate book hidden inside a suitcase. So you could have done all sorts of things. You didn't have to make these pockets. You could have made it as a suitcase album. I decided to make this for Christmas because for me, Christmas is a time about family. And so for me, home for the holidays means packing a suitcase full of goodies that you bring to family and friends. But this could be used for a lot of different projects, y'all. If you were doing like a beach theme swap, think how cute, or a vacation theme swap, how cute this would be to build. I built it actually because I'm going to show you when it's put back together. It actually holds a great deal, y'all, like a great deal. And I thought it made a great package for little racks to friends and subscribers, or you could do it for a swap. And because it holds a lot, but look, it's not so big to mail, y'all. And so I thought this was a fabulous way to send off a mini swap or a rack or just a Merry Christmas in July gift. So this is my project share for this week. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions at all, please leave them down below. At some point on my channel, I will be doing a tutorial for this, just because I know I have a few subscribers who will want one based on the recent projects we've been doing. This was super fun to make. This was my first one. Again, I learned a lesson about the feet. In the future, I will put them on after I've loaded all the goodies in, just to make sure there's enough counterbalance. It was inspired, this project and the building of it was inspired by LiveLoveScrap, and I'll put a link to that tutorial down below. I did change the dimensions. I did add a bunch of different features. I altered it, but the absolute project was inspired by that. And to her credit, I learned how to build the actual base box from her. So make sure to check out that tutorial. But most of all, please don't forget to check out the other collaborators in this amazing Christmas in July collab. Because you're going to find so many innovative projects, and you're going to meet a bunch of really creative crafters. Again, a huge thank you to Crafty Michelle for including me in this collab. You know how much I appreciate it. And y'all, I'll be back next week with another exciting project for our Christmas in July collab. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, leave any questions or comments down below. And thanks so much, y'all. Merry Christmas in July. Merry Christmas in July, y'all.